What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So let's talk about Donbrothers versus Zenkaiger. Now, before I begin, I am going to summarize the entire film. So there could be some spoilers, but I'm going to spare you some of the more important details so that you guys can still have something to look forward to if you haven't watched the film yet. So, with that said, let's move on with the review. Now, the film is basically divided into two parts. We have the Zenkaiger and the Dawn Brothers parts. So let's focus on the Zenkaiger part first. And what happens in this part of the film is that after the end of Zenkaiger, or at the end of Zenkaiger, Kaito and his friends go dimension hopping. And after some adventures, now Kaito finally returns home to Zenkaitopia. However, he finds Zenkaitopia under the control of Kashiwa Mochi World once again. But not only that, he's got the gold tweakers on his side for some reason, and this is basically where the main conflict of the first half comes from. So, how are they going to defeat the Kashiwa Mochi World this time, and along the process, bring back, the gold tweakers with them? So now we're going to the Dawn Brothers half of the film, where I think most of like the juicier spoilerific parts are. So I am going to try my best not to spoil everything, but of course we pick up after the end or after the finale of Dawn Brothers. So basically the Dawn Brothers are a team without Taro, and basically Jiro is the new leader. So, uh, but of course, Taro is still the important character, right? So, how is he going to make his return to the team? And we also see the other Dawn brothers live their individual lives. And of course, the Noto are now part of the team as well. Uh, but there's actually one important question that is finally answered in this film, which is the identity of Zenkaiser Black. So we now uh, finally get an answer as to who and what he is, you know, in relation to the Zenkaiger version of Kaito. So, are they really the same person? Are they two completely different people? So we finally get an answer to that. So you guys watch the movie and see for yourselves. So, as for the Dawn Brothers half of the film, like the main conflict actually. So we have another Hitotsuki, and yes, so this is Minoru, the same guy who has been uh, the I don't know, like he's the go-to Hitotsuki at this point. Like he's been a ninja, a shuriken Hitotsuki. He's transformed in the Bokenger Hitotsuki and so on and so forth. And at the end of, or at least near the finale of Dawn Brothers, he becomes the King Ogre Hitotsuki. So now we do see another Hitotsuki, which is the Zenkaiger, or the Kikaiki, if that's how it's called. But yeah, you get the point. So now we see the Hitotsuki version of the Zenkaigers. So he is basically our main enemy for this one. And thanks to Kaito's new uh, I guess his newfound ability, not really newfound ability, but uh, but nonetheless, I'm not sure how to say this because this could probably spoil anything. But basically, at this point, the Zenkaigers and the Dawn brothers eventually team up, And of course, we also see some power up items specifically for Don Momotaro and Zenkaiser. So the versus gear, uh, which allows them to, transform into new forms, and uh, Zenkaiser and Don Momotaro get new weapons as well. But again, that's for you guys to see. So, it, like, actually, it's a very satisfying ending. I'm going to focus on the Dawn Brothers part because, like, Zenkaiger, like, it was okay. Like, it's still typical Zenkaiger. But as for the Dawn Brothers, it does feel more like a conclusive part to the story. However, there is a big twist. Not really much of a big twist, but there is kind of a big twist near the end of the film, which sadly, not to spoil so much, but we do lose a very important character at the end of this film. Now, it's probably not that conclusive, but it is very much implied that we are going to lose this very important character. I'm talking about one of the Don brothers characters. Yes, we lose one of them, but who is that character? I'm gonna leave it to you guys to see for yourselves. But nonetheless, uh, it does, like I've said, it's more of a happy ending because we see basically the Dawn brothers finally getting to live their lives. Uh, but at the same time, they still find, being part of the Dawn brothers team a fulfilling job or a fulfilling task, which they are proud of. So, you know, it is like I said, a happy ending, but we probably are still going to see more in the V cinema. I believe there is still going to be one more V cinema involving the Dawn brothers and what they've been doing, probably in between the finale of Dawn Brothers and this team up with Zenkaiger, if I'm not mistaken. So, or it could be, or it could occur sometime after that. But I'm actually interested to see how the Dawn Brothers are doing without Taro, or, you know, have they considered leaving the team or whatnot. But I think it's a nice conclusion to the story of Dawn Brothers because for me, I didn't really find, Dawn Brothers finale that much of a complete or fulfilling ending. So it was nice for what it was, but seeing them after that, and you see their lives after the finale, like, that's more of a conclusion for me. So yeah, when I think of Zenkaiger versus Dawn Brothers, or Dawn Brothers versus Zenkaiger, is I'm going to give it a rating of 3.5 out of 5. So the Zenkaiger part is, still your probably your generic episode feel to it, but again, if you focus on the Dawn Brothers part, it's much more interesting, which is kind of a wasted potential for a film. They just probably wanted to focus on the Zenkaigers a little bit, and then but put most of the important details and happenings on the Dawn Brothers half. but no, it's still in general an enjoyable watch. But like I said, it's like much more enjoyable during the Don Brothers part, which uh again is the one that kind of got me hooked, like, oh, what's going to happen. But for the Zenkaiger part, again, like, it felt so generic. Although it's not your typical, like, you have to beat the enemy to get things back to normal. Like, they did have some strategy in it, so they do have to devise a plan to actually beat the enemy and get things back to normal. But other than that, it's still your typical Zenkaiger episode. I think that's what kind of pulled down the rating for me. But yeah, what do you guys think of Zenkaiger versus Dawn Brothers, or Dawn Brothers versus Zenkaiger? Let me know down in the comments below. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. This has been Philip, and as always, please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you guys get the latest from JEFusion. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.